Recorded live at Talks and Tasting Studios, it's the Clerical Errors Podcast, the podcast that shows you what's behind the collar. Let's go.
From the Talks and Tastings Studios, this is the Clerical Errors Podcast, the podcast that shows you
what's behind the collar.
This is Bollhagen.
This is Berg.
And this is Vicar.
Peter's here.
Hey, Pete.
And we're at, guess what? Our
Christmas
office Christmas party.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
It's Christmas Eve.
It's Christmas Eve.
It sure
We actually had it on Christmas, kind of, which is strange. We're not usually on time with that.
Weren't we dead on last year? Wasn't last year actually on Christmas? Am I crazy?
Or was that? I don't remember. It's a good question.
Yeah, it was. Last year we were dead on Christmas.
Wow.
I mean, assuming we put the episode out on time, which I think we did.
Oh, we always put it out on time.
We always put something out, so.
Yeah. Well, one of my favorite Christmas party episodes we had is, remember we tried to redo the 12 Days of Christmas song?
Oh, yeah.
I do remember that,
Yeah.
yes.
It kind of worked.
Right. Yeah.
All right. Well, first of all, it's Christmas party, so what are you guys drinking?
Some Speyburn scotch.
Wonderful.
I've got Glenfiddich 12 year as usual.
I have sparkling water. Pretty lame.
Oh,
I wanted to get into the Christmas spirit, so I made myself rum and Coke in a solo cup.
nice.
Because it's a party.
A Christmas
Living
spirit for
there,
the Christmas
the dream.
spirit.
Well,
Here,
hey,
Vicar.
I do want to say I really have an exciting announcement. I found some lutefisk at the store,
Wow.
and I am going
Ooh.
to eat that on Christmas Day using a traditional Norwegian traditional Norwegian recipe. So it's going to be rad.
And Vicar was forced to share his expensive Glenfiddich with me.
I do it gladly.
See, 'tis the season, right?
Merry
That's right.
Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
So, because I want to get right into this because I'm excited for it.
Okay.
Because we're not in person right now for Christmas because we're recording it ahead of time. Haha. We can't do our gift exchange this year. Not in the same way, right?
That's true.
Peter, I'm noticing what's happening here. He's doing what I do. When we give presents, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like the little kid and it says, open the present I got, open the present I got you. Open the
That's
present
right.
I got you.
Well, we got to fit it in the show. We got a lot of content for our
content,
Christmas
yes.
episode, so we have to get into it.
If you're
No
looking for
waffling
the
around.
deeper meaning of Christmas,
Come back next episode.
well, listen to the end.
Come
Well,
to service tonight.
well, yeah. Well, it sure is deep in here.
That's right.
So anyway, what we have done in Clerical Errors fashion is rather than getting each other gifts, we have come up with gifts we would have given the other people if we could have.
Correct. And I did a top 12 list, and then like 5 minutes before I came into the studio, I thought, oh, we have to come up with presents, but I got something here. Does that sound like
And
me?
I-
That doesn't sound like me, does it?
I did write about the same thing.
Okay. So what we did is, Hannah will understand this, is we promise a lot of gifts, but we don't ever carry it out.
Yep. We're
Right?
not like God. He's faithful. Us,
And-
not so much.
Right. And if you remember, there was a dedication once where I told my beautiful wife on our 25th anniversary to go to Walmart and pick out a card, right?
That's
And
right.
imagine it came from me. So we don't have to spend the money on the card. Because when you think of the gift, it's the thought that counts, right? Kind of like
Indeed.
I annoy my family because they all want me to add a Amazon wish list. I don't like that. Right? Does that annoy the family, Pete?
We've been through this, I think, on the podcast.
Okay. All right. Anyways, so we have what I would have gotten you gifts, but Berg in a clear Berg fashion actually got us a gift.
So we'll save that for the end.
We'll save that one for the end. So
So,
we're doing a
for
what I
now-
would have gotten you gift exchange here.
Vicar, why don't you go first?
Yeah. We'll go one by one around the room.
Yeah.
So like one gift, and then we'll go one gift.
Okay.
Oh, no, I think we have to do them all at once.
All at
All
once?
the Vicar's gifts.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, okay.
You're the producer.
Okay, so Okay, yeah, I got what you're saying. So I guess I'll start with you, Bollhagen.
All right.
So knowing you are the avid reader that you are and the lover of classical literature that
yes.
you are, right? Yes. I thought only fitting to get you one of the best of the greatest Russian literature by getting you Dostoevsky's 1,056-page tome, The Brothers Karamazov.
Ooh.
That's awesome.
That is a
Great
good
gift.
That is a good one. I tell you,
Is it as good
I
as
thought
the
you were
movie?
gonna go. I thought you were gonna go with Tolstoy, War and Peace.
I almost did that. Yeah, I thought
But
about it.
Dostoevsky is better. I agree.
Does it come
Yeah.
in one volume, or do they kind of separate it out?
You
like
can get it in
part one,
4
part two?
volumes, but generally it comes in 1.
Yeah, the War and Peace, that'd be too cliche. Like
That's right.
That's what everyone would be expecting.
Right, you got to spice it up a little bit.
Right. So yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Did they make that into a movie?
I'm sure somebody did.
Okay. I'll
I
let
know
you know
War
when
and Peace has been adapted, hasn't it?
Yes.
Oh, for sure.
Yes, it has.
Must have been.
Yeah.
You know, so you could always go watch that one.
It was the best of movies.
It was the worst of movies.
I think that's Dickens, A Tale of Two Cities.
Oh.
Yeah, it is.
Close enough. Obviously,
All
I
right,
need
what's
that
next
gift.
sticker?
Only a true classic fan
I
would know.
just hurt Berg internally.
That's okay. You hurt the people that you're closest to.
All right, what's your next gift?
All right,
Picker.
so Berg, since you are the living, breathing podcast dictionary, I thought I'd get you the current Webster's New World Dictionary.
Oh, nice.
The gender neutral one?
That's right. Since it's the current one, it's all gender neutral.
Womp womp. It might help me fit into this modern world better.
It's pretty good because I would bet money that Berg has sat down and just read a dictionary.
Yes,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that is not incorrect.
Yeah.
So does it have woman in there? I'm kind of curious now.
I'm
yeah, but
sure
the
it's just
definition
a
is only somebody who
different
defines
definition.
themselves as a woman. So
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting because Webster did some weird things with his dictionary. Like he changed acre around and theater, so the British spell it a particular way.
Yeah.
Webster actually changed it. So that kind of talks about some different spellings that we Americans have that the Brits don't have.
It's kind of
That's why
sounds
I
like
say we could remove the C from our lexicon. The letter C should be removed. Let's swap it out for K or S, depending on what sound it makes.
Well, K actually fell out until Middle English. King was originally spelled with a C, and child was spelled C-I-L-D. And so in Middle English, they added like the ch sound because C could make a s and, ch sound. And so it got really confusing, so they had to add letters.
sounds like a power trip to me. Like I'm gonna define all these words for everybody.
Yeah, it's all a conspiracy.
Right.
everything's a psyop.
Can you imagine how annoying Webster would have been as a friend?
Actually,
Then
he
all
was.
those actually kind of people. Yeah.
Right.
He actually was. He was kind of a jerk. There's this book called The Battle for the Dictionary, I think it's called. So
Oh.
I read it back when I was in Cheyenne. So
Okay.
All right.
All right. So Peter, you know just as well as I that we will never be able to afford a home in our lifetime.
That's
So
correct.
to help out with this, I would have gotten you a year's subscription to Andrew Tate's Hustler University.
Wow.
Wow. I mean, you could dream big. You could have gotten him a house.
Well,
Yeah, I
hey,
was going to say, you could have got me a house. I thought that's what
the
you were
end
gonna
goal is
say.
to get you in your own Bugatti. So
Oh, okay.
that was the joke there. Sorry. I didn't realize it'd be lost to everyone.
You're good. You're good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Teach a man to fish and all that, right?
That's right.
And,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
for me, you can get me a meme dictionary to put a couple of these together.
There you go.
Yeah. Maybe some of those are in the Webster's from Berg. He can let you borrow some. Maybe Riz is in that dictionary,
Oh.
I think they added that this year. Yeah.
That would be bussin'. Oh, wait, I'm supposed to say that, am I?
You're absolutely not.
Okay. All right.
All right. Do you want to go next, Bullhagen?
Yeah,
or
I'll
shall
go.
I? Okay.
I've actually included not just us. Hannah, what I would get you is a box of cookies.
what kind of cookies?
Snickerdoodles. I would go with Snickerdoodles. And
Good
and I'd
choice.
also get her our one of my favorite of our T-shirts, one of our favorite, the Chris Christian T-shirt. 'Cause I know how
Oh,
much
yeah,
she
the
loves
rest
Chris
area.
Christian.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, of course.
Yes, with the exit number taped on. That's awesome. All right, for Vicar, I got you a black coffee cozy. So what it is whatever drink you have, you just put this cozy on it. It just looks like you're drinking black coffee.
That's amazing.
That's awesome.
Nice.
That way, you can drink whatever you'd like without any kind of retribution or judgment.
Yeah.
I imagine at the seminary that'd be also very helpful.
That's why I like the opaque hydro flask. Yeah,
Oh, there you go.
it's helpful.
But it looks like you're just drinking black coffee, and
I'll get tons of use out of it. Thank you.
yeah, you would. For the Baron, our super fan, I would get him the T-shirt we owe him. Because we still owe him a T-shirt, don't we? He's going to make a song.
It is not a we situation.
Oh,
here.
I owe him a T-shirt.
Let's be very clear.
All right. Berg, you're hard to shop for, right?
I know.
Awfully hard. So I would get you the dude in wax. A wax sculpture of the dude.
Nice. I like it.
Life size, 1-to-1.
Actually, one of my buddies from Iowa, Alex Post, he sent us a Christmas ornament of the dude.
Oh.
So I put it on my tree.
That's awesome.
So people who know you, they think, oh, okay, the dude. There's any kind of dude merch. At some point, by the time you're done on this earth, you'll probably have a little bit of everything.
That's true. I still have that portrait hanging up in the laundry room.
Right? Kind of like I got a friend who was bored out of his mind at his grandmother's house. This is when I was a kid. So he put a puzzle together. And then his grandmother thought that meant he really liked puzzles, which he didn't.
Of course.
And so like every year,
She got him a puzzle.
his other cousins got something cool.
He got a puzzle.
He got a puzzle because grandma
Well-
knew how much he liked a puzzle.
What happens if that was a psyop, though? Like, she knew that he did it just because he was bored,
Right.
and did this, and kept this scam going year after year. Oh, that would be amazing.
She's
I would
playing
do that.
4D chess. Yeah.
4D puzzle, really. Anyway,
And Peter, what I would get for you is a buzzer, a just stop buzzer. Right? So that you could just, when I see that, rather than having to do me to notice the look on your face of when we're going too long and being annoying, you could just hit your just stop buzzer and we would get the hint. But
I wonder if it was just a buzzer that just said, moving on.
so yeah, that's what I would get.
That's awesome.
I hope you enjoy your black coffee cozy.
I will. Thank you.
It's funny. I was thinking about doing something like that myself. I was right there with you. I pivoted last minute. So, all right. So I've got my gifts. Berg, I know you have, like Bollhagen said, you're a hard man to shop for. I know you have many and varied interests.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of stuff going on, but you also have a kid.
It's true.
So those interests can only take up so much valuable space. There's stuff everywhere. Wherever you've got it, it's got to pass the wife factor. She's gonna lose it if there's just a bunch of stuff on the kitchen table, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, what if you could put something out on the kitchen table and then cover it up for later?
Color me intrigued.
I would have gotten you a really premium dinner table with a hideaway game surface.
Ooh.
Oh,
yeah.
that's fancy.
That is fancy. Man. No, that would
so
be
you
great.
could put any game or puzzle or book or whatever and just cover it up.
I think my wife would even like that.
Right.
A couple of things.
That's pretty awesome.
Couple of things I want to say. First of all, Peter and I have literally had this discussion behind your back, Berg, where we said, okay, he knows all about movies, he knows all about books, he knows all about history, and then I think what put Peter over the edge is you started talking about gaming, and Peter's like, how do you have time to do all of this and game and know all those things? We've had that discussion.
Just the way I work.
Some people remember the things that they read.
And the other thing I would say is I remember when before his lovely wife and before the whole family thing, going to visit him in his house, and there was just books lying everywhere.
There still are, just not in as many places.
Okay.
I have my one little corner that I can stack my books.
So for Vicar, I know you're working really hard on your vicarly duties and all that. You're doing everything you can to improve, become a pastor one day, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I noticed you had a bit of a weakness, and I'm all about kind of helping with your path to becoming a man of the church. So I got you, or I would have gotten you, a book, and this book is Animal Sounds. Learn the sounds that animals make.
Oh, that is awesome.
Because he has
great.
refused
That's great.
for ages 1 and up.
Hey, that's me.
He qualifies.
I am up. Thank you,
So,
Peter.
yeah, that's what I would have gotten you.
By the way, Vicar, I had something that didn't make the cut for you,
Okay.
and it was a sleeveless shirt. You've been working out now for a few months.
Mm-hmm.
It's getting close to the time to lose them sleeves.
Okay.
Okay? All right? If you're not ready to lose the sleeves, you're not working hard enough.
Just turn an old Thrivent shirt inside out and cut it off.
Right?
I'll have to reconsider my
It
lot in
takes
life.
something basically useless already.
That's right.
And then finally for Bollhagen,
Yes, my son.
of course, of all the people in this room, I know you the best.
That is true.
And I know you spend a ton of time in your car, right?
Right?
Part of the job. You got to be all over the place all the time because you're a pastor. Now, we Bollhagens, while not rich by any means, we have a kind of a discerning taste in cars. Would you say, is that correct?
Yes. We love
Yes.
sedans.
And we like to get 10-year-old luxury vehicles,
Right.
right?
Right.
Especially I think between the three of us, we've bought 3 Lexuses in the past 10 years or so, right?
And I had the
So-
Aurora that 15.0 had during the podcast, had to go out and start a couple of times so my battery wouldn't die.
That's true. Luxury.
I remember those times. Good times.
And as we know in the past, you had your old Lexus, and then went to my brother for a really good deal, and we're not upset about that at all. And and then you got a new one,
Not a new one, a 10-year-old one.
a 10-year-old one. Yeah,
That's
but
new.
a
That's
newer
for us. That's
one,
new, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
lived
newer
in.
one.
Lived in.
It's
Newer
new
one.
old stock.
I've convinced myself that it's practically. Although I did heat a deer, so
Oh, no.
yeah.
Did you?
Yep. I was
I
on
didn't
my
know
way
that.
back from the airport at 1 a.m. So about 5 miles outside on Highway 3.
Oofed up.
So
I didn't know that. I'm sorry.
that's
Kind of
all right.
sad.
Maybe I can help you then in
Okay.
that case, because what I would have gotten you for Christmas
Mm-hmm.
is a really good deal on a 2011 Lexus ES 350.
Wow. Wow.
Nice.
That's
a really
fantastic.
good deal.
Wow. That is about as much as I would give my favorite son.
Yeah. I'd probably get you a silver one. I think that looks pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
Got a few miles on it, needs a little work,
Right.
But it's a really good deal.
Well,
So that's what I got for you guys for Christmas.
Thank you. I am very appreciative of your passive aggressive gift.
Yeah.
So, like
So
usual,
enough of this fake gift nonsense.
So, like usual, I can't follow instructions very well. So, I've been saving this since the end of September because I wasn't sure exactly when to do this. But we actually had a listener from the show who is a behavioral analyst. She, this person actually, analyzed me. So, I figured that is my gift to you, and I
Nice.
figured we could get a chuckle or two out of it.
So a listener of the show who does this for a living analyzed your personality.
Yes.
Was this solicited?
It was an idea, and I didn't think it would actually happen, but it did.
Oh.
So,
I
don't
would
know.
love for the rest of us too.
So, maybe the listener will do the same for the rest of us. Kind
There
of
you go.
late Christmas, early Easter gifts, right?
All right. So with this in mind, then who would like to read this?
Oh, I think Berg has to read it, right?
All right. So this listener begins with the functions of behavior, sensory, attention, escape, tangible, and then with some definitions here. So multiply, control.
Wait. Before
ahead.
you get into this, what royalty-free Christmas tune would you like to have underneath it?
I will let it be dealer's choice for Peter. Whatever he can
All right,
find.
I'll find
that is.
something that you'll approve of.
It'll be rad. So,
All right.
So the analyst begins with some definitions here, which is good. So, multiply controlled. This means that your behavior meets multiple functions at any given time. For example, you might get coffee in the morning because you like it. That's tangible. And you might want to be late for work, which is escape. So what is reinforcement? Reinforcement increases the future frequency of behavior. Reinforcement may be positive or negative. Positive is an addition of something like, that is, food, items, or praise. And negative reinforcement is the removal of something adversive that increases behavior. Think of every time you get in the car and hear the dinging and you buckle, or you take medication for pain or a cold.
Okay.
So, extinction. That sounds ominous. A behavior previously meeting reinforcement is no longer receiving reinforcement. For example, an annoying parishioner calls you every day at 10 p.m. You answer the call. The behavior has been reinforced. They start calling every night at 10 p.m. You decide you are no longer going to answer. They call you 5 times in a 10-minute period. That is extinction.
Yeah. So what she's saying is you're really good at multitasking. You're good at rewarding yourself. And unless things happen too much.
Yeah, so these are just definitions of some of the terms that the analyst is going to be using.
Oh, okay.
So this person was given examples, basically. Okay. So here's the analysis, and you guys can all make of it what you will. Berg is a mighty fortress of neutrality that irritates his band of merry men. I'm not sure that's true, but in behavioral training, being neutral is of the highest order. If you're neutral, you win. That's true. He's so neutral, he's irritating. Okay. Why? Why is this so irritating? Because he's putting his coworkers on extinction. So I'm not reinforcing either positively or negatively your actions.
Actually,
Extinction.
I gotta stop there. Okay. This is actually true. Because you're very highly opinionated, but not always when we want you to. So for example, my last top 12 list, if the listener listened, I would ask for feedback. Nope. You're doing great. And by the way, if I'm looking into myself, was I confident that I was doing great?
No, that's why you asked for feedback.
Which is great because the listener doesn't hear that. I cut that out every time you do that.
Okay.
Now they know.
Now they know.
Behind the collar moment.
So I sound
moment,
confident, right?
Yeah, of course.
If only we could do that with Vickers in real life.
Yeah, really.
I'll just edit out what you just did, Vicar. Don't worry about it. Okay.
All right, so I'll continue. Extinction is turning off the spigot of reinforcement. You're done. Make no mistake, this is dangerous. Bollhagen, Peter, and yes, even Vicar will go through an unpleasant extinction burst. You may hear them say, "This no longer works. We'll have to try harder," or "What's wrong with you, Berg?" They may even forget to remind you about the podcast. Or they may try something they've never tried before to see if they can break you down. If you continue this course, they will stop, but if your neutrality fortress crumbles, you will intermittently reinforce Bollhagen's behavior so hard that Bollhagen will get a high more than any cheap addictive stimulant he could get at Walmart or an Iowa back alley.
Okay, let's stop there.
Wow.
See, Bollhagen, I'm saving you from yourself here.
Wow.
You're welcome. It's the gift that keeps on giving.
This behavior analyst must have heard the podcast where I mentioned that, talked about my ADHD and how effective certain stimulants are.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, Iowa back alley. That's not something I've done. All right, continue on, Berg.
Okay, behavior is multiply controlled, so while Berg is neutral, he is also task avoidant. He escapes a lot of the conversation with short quips. Berg, everyone who listens knows you're a walking encyclopedia of information. I presume that most listeners want your feedback, so reinforce your listeners and their behavior of tuning into the podcast each week will increase.
There you go.
So,
Okay.
wow.
All
And then
right.
we have a quote from B.F. Skinner at the bottom. When you run into something interesting, drop everything else and study it.
Oh.
So,
That's interesting.
there we go.
You should study it.
Yes.
Well, I have been the studied one at this point, so,
That's right.
Well, Skinner mostly studied rats, so
well, you know, rodents
old
and humans aren't
the Skinner
too
box.
far apart, you know, so.
The Skinner box.
Everyone
right?
has to have a hobby.
So you have been. How did that make you feel when you read it? Did you agree with it?
Yeah, I think that's probably pretty on par.
Right.
Do we say this no longer works, or we'll have to try harder, or what's wrong with you, Bird? Those feel like we must have said them at some point and
Right.
they got picked out.
Yeah, Bollhagen has, so.
I mean, I'll say this no longer works, but it's usually about the segment, not just Berg.
Right. There are times where, since we're having a moment of honesty, and good communication is very important to healthy relationships, right?
It is.
There are times where I've wondered now, okay, which Burke are we going to get today?
That makes me feel a little schizophrenic, I guess. Or what is that? Multiple personalities?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just like an onion, man. I got layers.
You got layers. That's right. That's right.
I think it tends to be morning versus evening recordings too. I think we have better Berg in the evening.
That's because I just don't care enough anymore.
What's wrong with you, Berg?
Uh,
Hang on, I'm gonna
So,
put these
but
on
this
my
is
sidebar.
professional, right? This is a professional analyzing.
yep,
you,
this
correct?
is somebody who does this for a living, so.
Wow. And they listen to the show?
Yep.
Okay.
Wow.
This might be helpful for helping Vickers.
Yeah.
I'm scared to what this person would say about me. I don't know if I want to know.
I kind of do,
doing-
actually.
They're doing your markup right now.
Right. Right.
I'm scared too because you only get like the mean producer Peter on the podcast. All the listener hears is me just like roasting you guys, basically.
It's all awesome.
The rare time on the podcast that I actually get upset, people love that. It doesn't happen very often.
It's true.
Kind of like when I was cleaning out the church library.
You know, it's amazing how that's always a task, right?
Right.
It's always a task. Everywhere you
Right.
go, it's like you just gotta like.
And I'm
the
like,
church
you mean
isn't
you
your-
want me to read this to see if we should keep it?
I already know it's not any good. We don't need any more Amish romance novels.
By the way, that did create a ringtone for me, that whole episode, because I did the rage reading of poems that became
Nice.
a metal song. That's my ringtone.
That's awesome.
Right. Which is fun as a pastor when you hear, "Sick, this is dark, yes, da, da, da," you know? And then it's like, yeah, somebody died or something. All right, so.
Not as bad as the old Family Feud fail noise.
That's
I
right.
think we've told that story.
Have you
on
heard
the
this story,
podcast
Vicar?
before.
I don't think so.
So you know I have an affinity for bizarre ringtones, right?
I have figured that out.
I had, for my ringtones, for my text message, I had the Price is Right fail horn,
Okay.
Boom, boom, boom,
Ah.
boom.
right?
Mhm.
And so I get a phone call on the landline, right? Where someone wants to get married, and a lot of pastors have gone through this, where they drove by, they looked at your church building,
Okay.
and giving like 100 reasons why I shouldn't do the wedding, like 100 reasons.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like we want the service to include this, and this. This was like first meeting, right, on the phone call.
Mm-hmm.
And let's just say there's 100 reasons why I should do this, right? And so this is on the landline at the church, and I have my phone sitting on the desk, like facing me.
Mm-hmm.
And it was one of the rare times where I actually had the sound on my phone.
Mm-hmm.
Because I turn it off for visits, and I never remember to turn it on.
Right.
And so I get an aunt question. So, could you do the wedding on this date? And just then I get a text. Boom, 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 boom. Oh. I said, no, I can't do it. And it was like audible on the phone.
That's awesome.
Because she didn't know how to respond. And I didn't know how to respond. It was awkward. And I'm trying to keep it together. And thankfully, it was not someone who was a member of our community that would be angry at me.
Mm-hmm.
They just needed someone in this area, and they drove by the church, and it looked nice.
Okay.
Anyways.
That's funny.
Where was I going with that?
You were talking about
Ringtones.
your ringtone. No, I don't think you were going anywhere.
Okay.
So do you guys want to do the text for today? Or do you want to stick with Christmas?
I've got this top 12 list burning a hole in my pocket.
All right, let's do top 12.
Well, first of all, I will say this. Like, pastors, you shouldn't need our help this time to write your Christmas Eve service.
It's
all right?
Christmas.
Yeah. I mean, if you can't preach this one, you probably should go back to seminary.
So I've got a top 12 list. Peter, play the intro.
Enough nonsense. It's time for Bollhagen's Top 12.
All right.
Vic was looking at you like you took his job.
Yeah, I was about to say it, and then you said it anyway.
They took our jobs.
All right.
What just happened?
It's a South Park reference.
So this top 12 list is...
I can't help it, man. I'm the best.
It was right there.
See, now he's opinionated.
That's right. You just had to bring up cartoons.
So, Berg is rubbing off on B, and a love of tradition is starting to,
Mm-hmm.
and he brings up all sorts of old traditions that no one does anymore, but are important, like Ember Days.
I do what I can.
And so, these traditions had to start somewhere, right?
Of course.
Right.
Someone had to start them.
And so I figured, why not us? Why can't we be the voice that starts new traditions?
Yeah. Be the change that you wish to see in the world.
That's right. That's right. So
That reminds me of Jurassic Park. Just because you can do something, you never asked, should you do something?
That's right.
and for most traditions, they don't actually think about, hey, we should start a tradition. It just people do it. But this is, and listener, if there's any of these traditions that you would like to see or maybe will start, just let us know, because then they could say this will go in the history books, right?
Right.
This tradition began.
This tradition brought to you by.
Yeah, from the Clerical Errors podcast, circa 2023.
Where can they get a hold of us, Vicar?
They can email us at clericalerrors.org. Sorry, feedback@clericalerrors.org. I forgot which side of the Clerical Errors the feedback came on. They can also find us on Facebook at facebook.com/clericalerrors podcast. And they can also tweet at us.
At me, bro.
At Clerical Errors P
for podcast. I'm sorry, I just had to hold up my sparkling water to my ear to make sure it wasn't an old one. In case you're wondering.
I wasn't sure what was going on there.
I thought you were trying to make a phone call.
All right. So I have 12 brand new traditions that I would like to see started around the Christmas season that I think would be helpful and fun, because part of it, they have to be fun if anyone's going to do it, right?
That's right.
So these are top 12 new Christmas traditions that I think should be started. Make sense?
Yes.
What do you think about that, Berg?
It sounds fabulous.
All right. Look at that. He's learning. He's learning. That sounds okay. All right.
Number 12.
Adopt a seminarian. So the seminary already has this, right?
Yes, they have student adoptions, right?
Right. This is literally over Christmas break, adopting a seminarian, like staying at your house.
Take them
you
into your
feed
home.
him, right, and his family. It's kind of like, you ever heard the concept of a temporary call?
Yeah.
Right? It's kind of like that without the theological implications. Okay? This person is your son, your child, and sometimes grandchildren during the Christmas break. and it kills two birds with one stone. One is we have a lot of lonely people out there, right? So they have that opportunity to have someone come over for Christmas. And the other stone is the vicar gets fed.
Always a plus.
And if they're single, they have actually a place to stay instead of the dorm. And it's a win-win. So you actually, over Christmas, you adopt a seminary student over Christmas break. Do you know anybody that would be helpful for, Vicar?
I know plenty of single guys who would love that.
All right. Do you think that would be helpful, Berg?
Yeah, I think it'd be helpful, but like they should have to do something.
They could do yard work.
So, yeah, they got to do the snow plowing.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, there's got to be some sort of...
Well, it's adoption. They're going to be their children, so they're going to do chores just like any other child would.
Yeah. A lesson on vocation.
I like that.
Exactly.
There we go.
It's a vocational understanding.
Yeah.
Clean out the outhouse.
Like a rent-a-son. Right?
Rent a child.
Right.
Number 11.
An angel flash mob.
Yes.
Okay? So, the night that our Lord was born, he had some unsuspecting shepherds out in the field by themselves. Angel came, and angels, and to quote the King James, they were sore afraid, right? So, what you do is you get a bunch of people together in a couple of vans, and you go out late at night, typically probably in inner city, when you find just someone like out at a bus stop by themselves.
Or in a back alley.
Right? And then all of a sudden, everyone jumps out of the car with bright lights, angel costumes, and a loudspeaker.
Singing the Sanctus.
That's right.
Yeah.
And then, once they're completely frightened, boom, you disappear.
No, you hand them a chick track first, and then you disappear, right?
A what?
Chick tracks?
I have no idea what that is.
Oh, never mind.
I got nothing for you, man. Sorry.
You don't know who Jack Chick is? The chick tracks of the 90s?
These are like the Baptist ones that you hand out and right?
Oh.
Yeah, he made a bunch of like handouts. And if you Google chick tracks, it'll come right up.
No, what you do is, you hand them a business card of the local Baptist church.
That's right.
So you don't get blamed for it.
So your number 11 is to conduct Christian SWAT raids?
I'm not sure what that is.
No, it's surprise evangelism.
Right.
Yeah. In unmarked black vans with really bright lights on one person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
okay.
That's not illegal, is it?
You have to do what you can to recreate the glory of heaven itself.
That's right. And if that means floodlights on the top of the van, that's what you got to do.
That's
you think we can get a chopper to get a spotlight going?
Yeah.
Well,
Why
and
not?
then you could have
Get
someone
one to hold a big old star, right?
Or you could have like angels like tied to the chopper.
Yes.
There you go.
Now you're thinking.
But just
I got this planned out.
imagine literally carrying this out though, right? Like packing up in cars, seeing someone at a bus stop, and then all of a sudden,
surprise,
and then leave.
I can't prove it, but this feels illegal. This feels, listener, if you can tell me what law this is breaking, please tell me, because I'd love to know.
But as I think about it, the person's probably either homeless on fentanyl if they're out late at night, and they would go tell someone, you would not believe what happened to me yesterday.
Number 10.
Number 10 is a Travis Berg New Word Advent Calendar. So
That's awesome.
Every day you open it up a little door, and Travis Berg will teach you a word that everyone should be using.
Oh, that's kind of nice.
You like that?
That's
I
wholesome.
should actually just do that.
Yeah. Well, that's where it had to start somewhere.
There we go.
And
So I got to make Advent calendars every year.
You could have like a mini power trip that Webster had.
There
Someone's
we go.
got to teach him what Gaudete means.
That is
Berg's
correct.
words.
Number 9.
All right. So this next one has two veins to it. It could go one of two directions.
Okay.
A living nativity wrestling tournament.
What?
Because we already know that.
What?
What is Ric Flair going to reprise his role as like the leader of the wise men?
Okay.
God's elbow.
All right. So there are two. The reason why I say there's two veins, right? I mean, because there's two kinds of wrestling.
Right.
Right. You could have just like the regular, just general wrestling weight classes, right?
Mhm.
You know, you have the wise man edition weight class, and you work your way up to camel, right?
Okay.
Or it could be full on like real wrestling, right?
Yeah, real
Right.
wrestling.
Yeah, real wrestling. Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Professional.
The Magi tag team, okay?
Against the Bushwhackers or...
Well, no, it would be like frankincense versus myrrh.
Do not be afraid to take Mary as your wife, brother.
or the Christ child doing the tombstone on the Undertaker. There we go. See,
All right. See, you're getting this, right?
That's drama.
Instead
Right.
of folding chairs, it's just a manger.
Right.
Yeah.
Or okay, now that we're kind of talking this out. Okay, this is I've narrowed this down. Okay, so this is what's going to happen because wrestling is rigged, right?
You're just telling
Okay.
me this for the first time.
Yeah. You
What?
and I,
Wrestling is rigged?
right? And I have a feeling that our super fan is somewhat surprised by that, but nonetheless, okay. So this is what you're going to do. You have to rig it. So what you have is the nativity stars like beat the fake Christmas stars, right?
Okay.
So you have, for example,
The headliner is Jesus versus Santa, right?
Mary versus the little drummer boy kind of a thing.
right, Joseph versus the snowman, right?
Yeah.
What do you think, Berg? Is this going to catch on?
Well, I mean, they need to do something because I'm not sure how popular professional wrestling is anymore.
Oh, you'd be surprised.
Biggest it's ever been.
Really?
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, man.
Huh. Well,
All right.
do it.
All right. Which is your favorite so far, Berg? Which one is the one that you really will think will catch on?
Which one is speaking to your heart?
Which one do I think has the most benefit for the church or the one that...
It's a great caveat.
I mean,
All right. Well,
or the one that I think would be the most interesting because I don't want to get arrested. So honestly, the professional wrestling one for general silliness
okay.
is probably the safest.
Probably the most useful one might be the Travis Berg New Word Advent Calendar.
Mhm.
Yeah, that might actually like help,
Right.
as long as we can stick some Arcola in each one.
There you go.
See, then people have, because I understand the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. So, give them an extra earthly incentive.
You open one of them, and it's just a really long tab from the box, and it takes up the entire thing, and it's anti-disestablishmentarianism.
There we go.
Number 8.
Just have an ugly chasuble party because
Instead of an ugly sweater party.
Right.
Yeah.
right. Because right now the ugly sweaters only go so far, right?
Right.
Right.
But ugly chasubles have been around for a while.
If you planned for this in advance, you could have some pretty ugly ones.
Mm-hmm.
Hang on, I have to Google something.
Okay.
I'm not sure how many lay people could institute this. That might just be
that's
a pastor thing.
Yes.
Oh, there you go. Girls. Go to the girls section. Right.
What?
Yeah. See, up at the top, there's like women's pink. Yeah, there you go.
Ugh.
Right.
Yeah, no, that's an ugly chasuble.
Now, yes, I understand, Berg, that this is something only pastors would get. But here's the thing. If you have pastors compete against each other, but then you broadcast it, or you make like a circuit event, pastors having this, and then you have like a little circuit Christmas party where the people from the various congregations vote on the ugliest chasuble.
Yeah,
So
you
are
get lay
you going to
delegates.
do this? Are you going to do this? You should.
You think so?
Why not?
You'd have to come down, though, Berg.
Yeah, I'd have to get some time, but
But then again, you have a certain segment that says, "Well, I think every chasuble is not necessary."
Yeah, and they'd wear like a really nice one, right? Like
right.
out of spite. Like,
Right.
This one's really ugly.
And then the one pastor would be upset because, well, what do you mean? I wore the wrong one for the wrong season.
We're in Advent now. Why are you guys wearing the Christmas one?
oh man.
Number 7.
the 12 days of absolution.
Okay.
So what this is the 12 days of Christmas, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. This is to work your abs.
Oh,
Oh, I thought you were going to do like 12, 12 days of Christmas instances of absolution or something.
that's what I was
Like-
thinking too.
All right.
On the seventh day of Christmas, our Lord Jesus gave to Mary 7 cast out demons.
Yeah,
All
no,
right,
this
so,
is
Bollhagen, here's the thing. You can't bring this up and not have at least a couple for the song, right?
no. I actually didn't think of a song. I was
12
thinking
days
of
of
a
absolution.
workout program where each day you do something with the abs, so that by the end of the 12 days you're working towards a 6-pack.
I'm sure you could do something that makes it about a song about the
On the
12 days of
first day
Christmas.
of absolution.
Because it's
You work your abs with
solution
me.
to the listener. Yes. It's a solution for your abs is the idea.
Mhm.
Gotcha.
So, like, do you have 12 ab exercises?
1 hour push-ups.
Right. Yeah, it would be 12 days of ab exercises and low carb diet probably.
Yeah.
So that by the end of Christmas you're like, look at my abs.
You just want to be absolutely certain.
Right.
Boo.
Sorry.
Boo.
All right, number 6 is one of my favorites.
Number 6.
Clerical errors, New Year's resolution indulgences.
Oh,
So, what happens is you think of what kind of New Year's resolution you would have done, right?
okay.
That you know you're probably not going to keep anyways. Instead of doing that resolution, you get freedom from all of that guilt by sending through Patreon a gift to Clerical Errors. If it's a big resolution, right? Like, I'm going to stop drinking alcohol. That's a big one.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't really want to do it, that's going to be like a $200 gift.
All right. Clerical Errors Army. You can do this. I'm starting this, but the thing you're giving up or whatever for your New Year's and the amount will go to the council, and the council has to agree. If the council agrees, I will send you a certificate.
Right. And by the way, it's if you're a seminarian, let us know because we understand.
We'll give you a discount.
Right. Yeah. So if you don't want to do the resolution and you want to feel better about it, we're here to help.
What else are indulgences for?
Right.
Exactly.
Right. What do you think, Berg? Does that hold water for you?
I think it's a great idea. I'd love to see the design for it.
Right. And
We'll see if I have to make
and
one.
that way you don't feel bad about me. I mean, you're not going to keep the resolution anyways, right?
Right.
And you're going to feel bad about it.
Right. Might as well wipe away all that guilt.
Right. You don't have to feel bad about it. Just buy a Clerical Errors New Year's resolution indulgence.
That's right.
There we go.
Number 5.
Christmas caroling. So I know that sounds like something that people already do, right?
Right.
Right. No, this is where you go through the phone book. I guess that's
You're gonna call all the carols, aren't you?
right. Every day you call someone named Carol and wish them a happy Christmas.
Happy birthday, Carol.
That's good. I like that.
And if you catch somebody on their birthday, then you win.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
You have to host next year. It's like the Fat Tuesday thing.
Right.
You find the baby Jesus.
Now the problem with this being a tradition, like year after year, at some point we're gonna run out of carols. So
Oh, boy.
there's gonna be like 2 left, and they're gonna get a ton of phone calls.
I'm sure they'll appreciate it.
Number 4.
Snowflake painting. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So most snowflakes I know have a lot of tattoos.
Oh.
Okay.
I just made Peter uncomfortable. Number 3.
Number 3.
Bad Christmas program Mad Libs. Okay. So here's the thing. We've all had to sit through bad Christmas programs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yes.
How could they not be improved by making that Christmas program into a Mad Lib? right?
You have to explain.
Do you know what I'm...
you know what a Mad Lib is, right?
No.
Oh, no way.
Oh.
You found it.
We have to do one right now.
Okay. Yep.
We have to. Okay, hang on. I'm
All right. Peter's going to hook us up here, producer.
Vicar, give me a verb.
Run.
Bollhagen, a person.
The Baron.
Berg, do a noun.
Water.
Vicar, a person.
Peter.
Bullhagen, a noun.
Monopoly game.
Berg, noun.
A monkey.
Vicar, a room in the house.
Living room.
Bullhagen, person.
Krampus? Who's your...
Krampus.
Krampus?
Berg, food.
Lefse.
That's a fish, isn't it?
No, that is a potato. It's a sweet potato pancake that you put butter and sugar on. Then you roll it up and eat it.
Vicar, adjective.
Quick.
Bullhagen, adjective.
Heretical.
Berg, another adjective.
Dry.
Vicar, scent.
Musky.
Bullhagen, verb.
Plagiarize.
Berg, noun.
Reindeer.
Vicar, noun.
Box.
Bullhagen, person.
St. Augustine.
Berg, a mode of transportation.
A steam engine train.
Vicar, animal.
Lynx.
Side note, what does a lynx sound like?
I don't know. I've never seen a lynx.
Got to read the book.
Yeah.
And
Should've got me
Bullhagen,
the book.
last but not least, an adjective.
Mortal.
All right. So, Berg, we have just done a Mad Libs. I asked you for various words, and I started with a story that had blanks for those words that you don't know besides the fact that it was a Christmas Mad Libs. So this is the story we have created. I'm so excited for Christmas this year. I have been doing a lot of running to prepare. I have already picked out presents for everyone. I got the Baron a water and Peter a Monopoly game. I wrapped their presents in monkey and hid them in the living room so they wouldn't find them. Krampus and I made lefse for everyone to enjoy. They smell quick. I can't wait to eat them. We picked out the perfect tree. It is heretical and dry and smells like musky. It's my job to plagiarize the tree every day. I've been hoping for a reindeer under the Christmas tree this year. I really don't want to get a box this year. St. Augustine tells me I need to go to bed early on Christmas Eve so Santa can come. He's going to drive his steam engine train with his lynx and land on our roof. I hope everyone has a mortal Christmas.
Nice.
So
Yeah,
what you do is
fun.
Yeah, you take a Christmas program that it's not so good and you make it better by making it into a Mad Lib.
Nice.
That's a
like
long
it.
explanation for it.
Number 2.
I kind of like this one too. But I'm not sure exactly my wording. If it should be Miss or Mrs. Maybe Berg can help me out with this. Right?
Okay.
CTS Miss Mrs. Mary pageant, where at the seminary you have a pageant of all those who might play Mary that year. Like who looks?
I think Miss would probably be the best.
Okay.
If they're gonna do a Miss Mary, then they also have to do a Mr. Joseph, and then
Right.
yeah,
And,
And then put them together?
That's
No.
right.
at that point it's been ordained.
I kind of like that.
Do you like that? See, the thing is, though, I've picked up on over the years as a vicarage supervisor is that some wives, this between us here,
Mm-hmm.
are
And everybody listening.
are passive aggressive competitive,
No,
right? And so
Tell
this
anybody.
has a chance to get a little out of control, right? And it probably means that very few people will be at the Annunciation service, but
Oh boy.
but yeah. So every year at the seminary, you have a pageant, I had a vicar who was in Madison, Minnesota once, and there they had a Miss Lutefisk contest.
mm-hmm.
You know, there's always like a Miss Pork Producer, right? Or you have County Fair,
Mm-hmm.
right? Well, this is a Miss Mary pageant. And every year the Sem wives compete to be who is Miss Mary. What do you think, Berg?
I don't know what to.
You want me taking the heat for this? Is that it?
Well,
Would you have entered for it to be Joseph? Maybe you get to be Joseph next to Mary's. That'd be pretty cool.
well, I wasn't married at that point, so
Right.
they're all there to get MRS degrees, anyways, right?
Right.
That's right.
Because some wives are generally judging each other anyways.
So who would be the
You're
the
telling me
lineup
this for
of
the first time.
Who would be the lineup of celebrity judges?
Matt Harrison.
Dr. Scare.
Matt Harrison, Dr. Scare, and who else?
Dr.
We got one
Busher.
more.
He's the director of the Deaconess studies. So, Dr. Busher.
Oh, I feel like you need somebody out of left field, though, right?
Yeah. Wham the
It's Simon
third.
Cowell.
Oh, I was going to say Dr. Nays.
No, you'd have to have a Price in there, wouldn't you? All right.
Just a rotating seat.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So that is number 2.
And number 1.
Being on the 1 year series, right?
Mm-hmm.
I've learned to appreciate pre-Lent.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So this tradition is on the eve of Epiphany, because in this new tradition, pre-Lent begins with Epiphany.
Mm-hmm.
And so on the eve of Epiphany, you have a pre-Lent Eve Vespers service. That's
Okay.
all.
Okay.
Oh, that's it?
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you have the vicar preach.
Right.
I thought you were going to
Yeah.
make some joke about the naming and circumcision because that's the reading for the day.
That's what I was thinking, too. That's what I was like, I'm going to make the vicar preach.
That was
Stop.
kind of
Hey,
anticlimactic.
well, hey, Vicar can always say, "Stop cutting Epiphany short."
All right. So that's my list. Vicar, which of these do you think will take off? Of all of these, which one do you think has a possibility of really taking off?
I think the one that most likely to gain any sort of public notoriety would be number 11. Or, I don't remember which number it is, but the live nativity wrestling. Was that number 10?
Yes. Live, the Living Nativity Wrestling Tournament was 9,
Okay.
and the Angel Flash Mob was 11.
Yeah. Out of all of them, I think that would be the one to get the most public notoriety.
Because that's the most likely to go viral, right?
Exactly. I mean, you remember how big flash mobs were 10 years
Right.
ago. Yeah.
Right. It's a way of going viral and letting the world know that you love.
Right. And just like the LCMS, we are always 10 years behind the curve. Yep.
10?
Yes.
Maybe a little farther.
Berg, do you have any that you think will catch on?
I think they all equally have a chance of
How neutral of you.
reshaping the religious and cultural climate of the Midwest.
Just the Midwest? You don't think it'll break out?
It might. I mean, unless we do some real mission work to Connecticut.
Sure.
I mean,
Well, that's just it. This will be the mission work to Connecticut.
That's right.
That's where we'll hold the first wrestling tournament.
There you go. Out of the 3 Lutheran churches in Connecticut.
Pretty soon there'll be a 4th.
It's funny because Connecticut has 3 Lutheran churches. Wyoming has 80, and it's the least populous state.
Yeah.
So, listener, let us know which one you plan on starting. If you were to ask me, I think the listener should start the Clerical Heirs New Year's resolution indulgence.
I think that sounds like a great idea.
I think that would very
was
easily
probably my
become a family favorite.
So, all right. Well, Merry Christmas and thank you for listening. This is Bollhagen.
This is Berg.
And this is Vicar. And may Christmas come upon you like a flash.
Thank you for joining us. This podcast is available on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, or wherever else you get your podcasts. Questions, thoughts, concerns? You can contact us on Facebook at facebook.com/Clerical Errors Podcast, on Twitter at Clerical Errors P for podcast, or email us at feedback@clericalerrors.org. Thanks for listening to Clerical Errors. See you next time.